Some of you are familiar with the cartoon animated series I cover on this channel called Final Space, and unfortunately, I wasn't going to do much with Season 2 this time around because it just didn't feel like Season 1 to me. Final Space Season 2. Episode 1 was just a recap and the start of the next mission. That's fine. But Episode 2 really rubbed me the wrong way. Not only did I not really like the humor, but it was basically a ripoff of the Rick and Morty episode where they explore a candy bar factory on the Citadel of Ricks that uses good fantasies to extract the life and flavor out of people for the wafers. I mean, seriously, just look at these two episodes side to side. It also introduces this guy as some antagonist. I mean, am I supposed to believe he'll be a villain in the future since he said, "I will return"? Also, Gary just lost the Earth a week ago. How did this guy build the entire happy place in just a week? Hey, at the very least, it kinda pokes fun at that Instagram trend. Episode 3 showed us some decent character development and backstory for Ash, so I was glad that they returned us to some semblance of normalcy with this. But still, I wasn't too excited about the show. It didn't have the same humor and emotional feel that made Season 1 so memorable. That is, until Episode 4 dropped. And what a trip. Not only is this one of my favorite Final Space episodes, it's one of my favorite cartoon episodes ever. And it all goes back to my love of anime. What's up? It's Truth Hero, and today we're talking about Final Space Season 2, and how the show was just redeemed. We're gonna need some cookies. The episode titled The Other Side has the crew crash into a solid shard of time where Gary, Ash, and Fox are on one side of the ship, and on the other, Little Cato and the rest of the crew are stuck, having aged 60 years. With morale running low, Little Cato, now Old Cato, is the only one willing to try again to find ways to escape the situation. Believing he's failed, he communicates with his father Avocado on a pretend computer, getting some fatherly advice. Eventually, he uses the ship's last remaining power reserve to send a distress beacon, but even this fails as it summons a Titan. Except it's revealed that in the end, the crew is just fine on the other side, with only having mere minutes pass by, while Little Cato has been all alone, having daydreamed about his comrades saving him and talking to his deceased father for these past 60 years. While this moment of the crew reuniting is great, there is a sweeter moment in this episode, and it's actually Tribor's plan, which pays tribute to the timeless series, and my personal favorite, Cowboy Bebop. I knew this device looked pretty impractical for saving a spaceship, and that's because this little drinking bird is the same one counting the seconds in a lonely bar where Jet reunites with his old flame Elisa in Cowboy Bebop. Loyalties are tested when Jet must arrest Elisa's current boyfriend, but in the end, Jet realizes time won't heal all the wounds of his past, and the only real way to get over his heartache is to move on and find true healing in growing as a person. And that's what this episode of Final Space Season 2 teaches us with Little Cato. No amount of time is going to bring back his father. Whether it's a few minutes or a few decades, he can't keep going on waiting for his heart to be healed. Little Cato can't just wait to come to terms with his father's death. 60 years wasn't enough. Only by overcoming his past and being honest with himself, realizing that he isn't truly alone. He doesn't need some simulation of his dad. He has Gary and his friends right by his side. Little Cato also needs to stop blaming himself for his dad's death. And by the end of the episode, our little buddy realizes that there are just some things he can't control. Sure, he can steer the ship better next time, but he's not the reason his dad is dead. Final Space might miss the mark when it comes to humor sometimes, but one thing they've always done is a great job with various characters and their childhood traumas. Even before this episode or Season 2, they've done it pretty much since the series' inception. Gary lost his dad, and while he is at peace with this since he met his father one last time, the show reveals his true pain by having his good-for-nothing criminal mother return to his life, only to yet again take everything away from him. Little Cato lost his father and is finally over this trauma, and in overcoming his pain, he can now help Ash, who lost her sister and is still searching for her purpose and a way to save her. Cowboy Bebop shows us that when one character is suffering from a trauma, it impacts the rest of them, especially when they can't let go of the past like Spike. If only he knew just how much Faye needed him. Now, I know Olin Rogers takes a lot of influence from different sci-fi series, but I never expected Cowboy Bebop and Final Space to share such a striking parallel between their characters when it comes to things like time. I can honestly say, after watching this episode and the ones after it, I'm fully on board for Final Space Season 2. Although, I'm still not too thrilled about Clarence. Ultimately, it's what we Fantrexians have been wanting the most, the backstory to Little Cato and the Ventrexians. And although we don't have the full story, we get a great glimpse into the mind of Little Cato and how he feels about his father and his death. And that is a great step in that direction. As always, thanks for watching. What do you guys think about Final Space Season 2? Do you like it? And what do you think about the new villain that was just unveiled, Invictus, Commander of the Titans? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And until next time, chookity!